So your thoughts on how you see the mutual fund industry evolving to meet the diverse needs of investors? Are there any innovations or changes on the horizon that could impact how individuals approach investing?
So you're right. I think the mutual fund industry itself, okay, is a reflection of how the financial savings are growing, and within that, how equity is allocations is moving up. So if you look at currently, still around 4.5% of the total saving is only into equities, and we see that ratio, okay, starting to increase because the young generation, okay, which is coming in, is probably much more savvier and they are more exposed to the equity markets, and also the whole momentum by the industry in terms of promoting mutual funds to SIP is gaining momentum. So clearly, I think we see that trend of equity ownership as a percentage of financial savings and overall total savings is likely to go up. And in this process, I think you will see for investors there are various kind of products, okay, which is there for investors to participate. It's not only equity; it is starting out with debt itself, right? So if you see, a lot of these savings is there still into even within financial assets to fixed deposits and also into cash, right? And as you know, the return on there's a lot of money which is lying in the savings accounts also, right, for individual investors in the bank savings account. So if you look at the on the debt side, funds like Liquid Fund or Liquid Plus, which provides similar kind of a liquidity, okay, and less amount of risk or volatility. I think those are also products, okay, which we see can really scale up, where you can possibly get a better return than your savings account, and also get the same liquidity. Apart from that, there are various other products because as investors, okay, want to invest across asset classes, right? Because it's not only equities alone. Okay, we know equities are good for the long term, but we think that the return across asset classes, okay, are well balanced, whether it is equity, whether it is debt, whether it is gold. So asset allocation, kind of multi-asset funds, okay, would probably be a good, again, product, okay, which the industries launched some of these products a couple of years back and seeing good traction. That would in turn reduce the volatility of the total portfolio, because some of the asset class like gold, for example, is a good hedge during uncertain times, and with a combination of equity, fixed income, and gold, you can get returns, okay, which are reasonably higher than say a fixed income, but overall the volatility is much lower than what you can get from equities. So those products, kind of products, will really see a good traction, and we've seen good inflows in those kind of funds which are there, and also for products, okay, which are likely to therefore retirement planning, right? Because people starting to now save much early in their whole journey, and they also need to plan for retirement, and there are a lot of products, okay, which are kind of solution oriented products, okay, which the mutual fund industry is now looking at, where once you reach a particular milestone in your life cycle, your needs change, right? You would probably require certain income, which to meet your day-to-day expenses, because when your earning capacity goes down. So there are these solution-oriented products targeted towards people who are likely to retire, okay, in a certain period of time. So all these solution-oriented products, the multi-asset kind of products for on the fixed income side, liquid funds, okay, as a substitute to savings in your bank deposits, and these are some of the products I think which will probably broaden the market and give a lot of options for investors to look at when they are looking to invest into the mutual funds.
All right. I want to narrow the focus of our conversation towards equities in 2024. Are there any specific sectors or themes that you believe hold promising opportunities? You mentioned a focus on large caps. If you can expand more on sectors and themes which interest you in 2024.
Yeah, surely. So, as we look into it, I think one is clear that India, this time around, the recovery, what we are seeing in the economy, is driven after a long time. I'm seeing that after the last almost 10 years, it's been revived by the revival in the investment cycle. So, which was kind of going down for the last decade or so. So, the whole investment, initially it was more about government spending. We expect the private sector capex to also pick up going forward. So again, a lot of activity happening on the manufacturing side. India is now becoming a destination for a lot of global players to set up manufacturing base, okay, who are trying to really decouple from China. And India itself has a large consumption base. So that's, again, a manufacturing is a good theme which is likely to play out. Besides that, industrials and capital goods sector, because as the private sector capex picks up, we think post-elections you will see more traction over there. The enabling conditions are in place into the corporate balance sheet is in fairly good shape. So that looks to be a good theme, okay, which will play out. The housing sector has also seen a good recovery. Again, this sector also has, since 2012-13, we have seen the sector has been a secular downturn, and post-COVID, we have seen a recovery over there. That sector also looks promising. Only recently, we have probably crossed the peak in terms of housing sales, which we did around in 2011-12. So normally these cycles last for around 4 to 5 years. So probably there is more room and upside over there. That means other sectors which are dependent on housing, like for example, cement or building materials, also should do well. Apart from that, as a defensive, we like the pharma sector, because pharma and healthcare specifically, that's a sector which has not done too well in the initial part of last year, because after COVID there was some kind of a slowdown. But again, now we're seeing a steady growth over there, more so in the healthcare sector, like hospitals, where there is been a good increase in terms of the in the overall tariffs, as well as there is some kind of a consolidation which is happening in the industry from a lot of the unorganized sector. And because the focus of the government on healthcare, I think the whole hospital and the healthcare space also looks to be as a good defensive play. And then finally, I would say the whole digital theme, right? We have seen transformation globally, companies trying to move towards digital. Currently, because of the concerns about US growth, there is a slowdown in IT spends discretionary. We think this is a temporary phase. The long-term trends towards IT, towards digital, and also now with AI is taking a lot of center stage. The whole AI implementation and the cloud migration will drive spends in the IT sector over a medium and long term. So this is a sector which probably can be a good contraplay. It's a global link sectors, but in this current downturn, I think it could probably be a good time to look at this sector from a, say, next 2 to 3 year perspective.
An investor education and awareness initiative of Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.